I am so very proud of this young lady. I've said for I don't know how long that I've got this book in my head, and it's been years and it's still not on paper. But this young lady at 9 years old wrote her first book. Prisha, am I saying that right?
Yes, you're saying that perfectly fine.
And is it Hedau?
Yes. I mean, a lot of people say it that way, so just go along with it.
I love this personality here. She is an author now. She does a lot of other things, too, though. You wrote this book at 9 years old. You are 10 now. You didn't set out to write a book. How'd this happen?
So basically what happened is, news happens. You watch the news every morning, seeing what updates are for the COVID-19 pandemic situation. And after a little while, I'm like, hey, I want to remember this experience, right? So I started writing note cards, and those note cards would be like, another ordinary day. Today I talked with my friends, and I did this, and I did that. And then those note cards soon turned into essays, and those essays were more detailed, and I researched facts about, this COVID, the docent something, and I wrote essays, and those essays started turning out into chapters because one day me and my parents were walking around the lake, and my mom suggested, hey, Prisha, you should write a book because you write all these essays, right? So sooner or later, I was like, yeah, sure. And my dad also thought it was a great idea. So that's basically how it went.
So when you were writing these essays, Prisha, and you were writing things down because this pandemic of 2020, I think we all know, it's not been that easy. I think we could all learn from this. Did it make you feel better? Did it give you a chance to reread it and look back on what you were feeling and things you needed to pay attention to?
So when I was writing this book, I basically shoved all my thoughts, all my feelings, everything in my brain into this book. And when I go back and I read this book, I'm like, hey, this happened. This is happening right now. I'm experiencing this historic event, and it doesn't bring back like memories, you would say, but it brings back a lifetime experience that's unforgettable.
Well, you can get the book on Amazon and also babybook.com, which brings me to another thought. It's not like you sat down and said, I'm going to write a book here and I'm going to make a lot of money, but the book is making money. And because of that, what are you doing with the money?
So I decided to devote all my money into 3 sections. So the first section will be for my education funds as things like college, I want to keep some for college. I want to attend these different activities and stuff like that. Something similar to that. That will be all for my education funds. Then a little portion will be for like the opening of the book and all that stuff, that fun stuff. And then the biggest portion, the major portion, will be going to people in need. For example, people need clothes, people need food, people need shelter. There's so many things people need. So I am going to be putting some of my money in Dare to Care and other COVID-19 organizations.
I am so very proud of you. I know you don't belong to me, but I love you like you do, like you do, and I appreciate you. You like chess, and you like math too, and you like to dance. Which of those do you like the most?
So honestly, I guess they're all the same level. Chess I've been doing for 3 years, and I really enjoyed it. I've just never got that time to come back. Just because, one, in the pandemic, there are not many tournaments to attend. Number 2, with all the schooling going on, I don't really get that time all the time. So that, too, I would say. For math, I've loved math. It's my favorite subject, actually. And I did math kangaroo over the, pandemic. And I got 7 in state-wise for Louisville.
Wow.
And 21st nationally. So
we're very proud of you. Some of your chapters in the book, and it's My Life Before COVID-19, the beginning of a pandemic. And again, she's doing really well with this and helping so many people. Focus on positive things. That's one of the chapters in your book. Why is that so important? Share what you thought about that.
So I would say that in the pandemic, there can be some negative impacts, but there's so many positive things you can grab out of the experience. So, for example, my mom's favorite quote is, it's always be aware, not afraid. So, take a quick look at the negative side and be like, oh yeah, that is pretty negative. But then let the positive side overwhelm you. Enjoy the time that lasts. And when I wrote this book, actually, I wasn't doing it on pressure. I was just having so much fun putting my thoughts and my feelings into a book. And one of my dad's quotes actually is quality overcounts quantity. So I wasn't paying attention to how many pages I wrote or how much detail I put into there. I just put my thoughts and feelings all into this book. So yes, I think it's very important to look at the positive side as much as you look at the negative.
My goodness, I appreciate what you're doing right now, but I cannot wait to see what you're going to do in years to come. Last thing here, because she has things in here like impacts during the lockdown, things to do during quarantine, tips on online schooling. You may want to see that. But what about being grateful before we let you go? I always tell people that joy doesn't bring gratefulness. It's gratefulness that brings joy. Yeah.
Yes. So in being grateful, I never take the chance to say, this author put so much effort and so much time into writing this book. And I learned that because I wrote this book and I became an author. So every book I've read will be appreciated by me. And that's actually something I put in the chapter of Be Grateful. In that chapter too, I just was grateful for my parents. I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for this experience. There's so many things that you could be grateful for. And especially it's hard to find that in a pandemic. But when you pick them out, you're realizing how grateful you are for these things. So yeah, and if you mind, may I say something before we end?
Well, we are grateful for you. Prisha Hedau is here. She is 10 years old now, wrote the book Pandemic 2020, a 9-year-old's perspective, babybook.com, also Amazon.com and PrishaHedau.com. I appreciate you, young lady, and make sure you hold on to your inner self, okay?
Yes, I'm going to be myself, and everybody's unique in their own way, so be yourself and don't change for anyone else.
I love her very dearly. All right, thank you so much for that. I don't know, she's doing wonderful things. Okay.